He's not included. I don't know.
Although I do bite my nails, so it can get scratchy.
When is it like? When are you most intimate with someone else, and not counting sex? Like with a friend. We can't do it because we don't have girlfriends. I was gonna ask them like at what most do they feel the most vulnerable with their girlfriends, and it doesn't have to be with like while they're having sex.
We've all had experiences with females, so.
Right? Like at what point do you feel okay? What point do you feel most vulnerable? Like, is it when you are talking to them, or like about deep shit, or like? At what point do you ever feel the most open?
Like, what do you mean? At what point?
Vulnerable. Like when do you
vulnerable?
Feel like vulnerable?
Like a vent or what?
Like you're venting,
or the like an actual time or what?
Like, when I'm getting choked and my air's about to like kill me, that's when I feel the most. Nah, I don't know.
Is that Woody Allen calling us?
I would just like to say, all right. All right.
Shout out to Diego with his imitations. I like the ones where it just sounds like Diego, but it's still supposed to be someone. Those shits are awesome.
Oh God.
I like because this podcast, like, they actually talk about stuff, and now it's becoming a comparison. Like, they actually talk about stories while it's more of like therapy where we come and like talk about being vulnerable, or a lot of times we just really bitch about how come we don't have girlfriends.
I think we're just afraid you're gonna kill yourself, so that's why we're doing this. I mean, that's why I'm still here.
That might be a reason, though.
It's like a semi-intervention a week just to make sure he's still alive and kicking.
Because it's like, I think we're all tired of listening to it separately, so we're like, let's just fucking all sit through it together.
Yeah,
I might as well just record it and put it out there for everybody to hear
and see if other people find it as funny as we
do. So vulnerability. Did I say that right?
Yes, you said that correctly. Way to go.
Your speech therapy has really been working.
Honestly,
well, it's a lot easier without the dick in his mouth.
Okay. No, I never like really heard my East LA accent till I started listening back to these. Like, to me, I always thought I actually spoke with a proper grammar till somebody brought up that I say dog every other sentence and yamin and shit like that.
You don't gangbang on the office, dog? I stay banging.
You got to stack, bro.
Well, I wasn't saying about banging because I'm not throwing any sets up. I'm just like, the way I talk sounds pretty ghetto.
I can attest to that.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I say it like a lot also.
Dude, wherever you're in the
vulnerability.
Stay strapped.
Vulnerability. What the fuck? I like how we told Adrian to talk more, and so he's just going to start saying how he's a banger. Adrian, when do you feel the most vulnerable?
With a female, I think conversation, because I don't really talk that much. But
I think I'm gay.
No. I think the weirdest conversation I had is like,
but
when...
At what point, though?
Like what? Like, because, like...
Not the first date, because the first date you're just trying to meet someone.
No?
Like the third date, like when you actually kind of know the person, not like,
you already know them?
Like, not know them like fully, but, you know more about them than like the small stuff you don't have to like go over.
Introductions.
You mean like the minutiae?
Because some people, they can't be real in person, but they could text the...
Oh, no, I can't text for sure.
They could, like, say their feelings through text, you know what I mean? Like, they could really express themselves because they could do it through word.
I mean, through letters?
Through writing.
Letters.
Through letters
and symbols, yo.
Through emoticons. They could really express themselves. And some people could just...
No.
They'd rather do it face to face.
I think because all you guys know I can't really write text. So, I mean...
Bang on them fools, Jamin!
Load them eardrums out.
So, it's when you're talking to them...
So, but like past the introduction point, because the introduction point, you just
well, I mean, you're not.
So it's when you're really getting to know.
Yeah,
them.
like the meat and bones of it.
Well, yeah. Why would you really be open on the first date? It's not like
some people are.
Yeah, it's not like you. Hey, my name's Nestor, and I have a crippling fear of fucking spiders, and I also, sometimes
I remember being on a date and some girl was just like, "Oh, my parents divorced, and I don't like that." I was like, "What the fuck? Like, I don't even know your birthday or anything." It's kind of just.
But I think kids from separated parents.
She sounds like she's gonna have body issues.
Easy picking.
Layup.
Wait, who's breathing in the mic? I hear like somebody going like, "Is it me?"
I think maybe, I don't know. Is
Probably.
it?
No, it wasn't. But I was just like, somebody's breathing right in the mic. I hear dragon breath. No.
Hater?
All right. I mean, so once you get to know them, you feel like you can open up to them, and that's when you feel the most vulnerable?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. How about you, Juan?
When do I feel the most vulnerable?
Yeah.
With anybody? or
No, I think this is specifically with a female, right? That you're like...
Oh, you could... I guess you could open up to friendships, yeah, or whatever.
Well, because he said his, like...
Yeah, he's
related in the field of romance, but...
Let's be vulnerable today, guys. Come on.
When it comes to that, I think it's... Once I've gotten to know them, like, you know them, but then you start, like, really opening yourself up. Like, you start talking about, like, shit about, like, your relationship with your parents when you were younger, your fears, like, that stuff, the stuff that comes up when you have those late
trust midgets.
Late night conversations.
Their fingers are just... Sorry, midgets.
I don't trust you either, too, dog.
The midgets talking about it, huh? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was a joke.
But I think it's that stuff that comes up when you have those late night conversations.
Yeah, see, that's what I meant. It's like at what point, not at what time, because at what, or I'm trying to like, because of course it's once you meet someone, unless you're like a completely open book. But I was more of like when you're out to dinner or, at a public place or, you know what I mean? Like when do you... In the boudoir for after sex, or you know what I mean, like when do you feel like you can open up the most to them?
Like when do you feel more comfortable?
What do you feel like? When do you
when
just?
Are you vulnerable?
Because sometimes you know what I mean. Like,
well, how about you share yours so you could give us an example of
I think it's for. Right, and it's it's not subconscious. I think I'm the most open when I'm about to drop them off, especially like if I drive or you know what I mean, like when they're about to get off the car, I don't know why I feel like this is when I could be the most like,
Maybe it's like a fear of that ain't gonna happen again.
No, but I think it's more because it's like.
But that sounds like you're not vulnerable. That sounds like that's when you're
just dropping shit on.
No, it's just. Well, see, the thing is that
because vulnerable is like
a lot of times it's like we would just park outside her house and we just talk for hours. And it was more because I'd start talking and then she'd just end up not leaving. And then we just park outside her house and talk for like one time till the sun came up or whatever.
Because vulnerability is like when you're...
And you're talking about deep shit. Like
but some people are comfortable with that and they don't feel that vulnerable.
Right.
Vulnerable is when like you put yourself out there and you're kind of...
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're
that's...
really scared, like...
Yeah.
Because you feel like I'm letting this person in. Like right now I have none of my defenses up.
I guess that was also like a way to defend myself because if shit went wrong,
you could just drive off.
You could just be like, get the fuck out the car. And then you just like, I'm out.
He just pulls over off the freeway. I know we're like 3 blocks away from your house, but I've been touched before.
He's like, I paid you to leave, not to stay.
Yeah, I mean,
but when, so that's when you felt the most comfortable to share?
I mean, no, you know me. I'll fucking
it sounds
share.
More like a defense mechanism.
No, I'll share anything. Like I don't care. It's just, I think that's when like
you're able to be yourself.
No, but I think it was like a mutual thing where we knew. You know what I mean? Like when we were gonna like that time after I pull up, I never even like
that was your nightcap.
Yeah, like we always had a nightcap of like we'd like recap the day and then we'd talk about just shit. And like sometimes it'd be 5 minutes, sometimes it'd be an hour, sometimes we'd spend all night and that's when I would be able to like I guess drop the defense like that guard you'd had all day of you trying to court her and now she's just like someone you're opening up with. And it was just because like I think it happens once and then it happened again and it just became like a ritual of that's when we did it. And like she sometimes waited to tell me stuff till the end too. Sometimes shit that wasn't good or it might have been negative or like shit that went wrong or shit she didn't want to tell me, but like she just waited till the end of the night because it's like, why fuck up? Why say something that's going to piss me off or make me sad? Like right off the bat. You know what I mean? She'd just let me and like just say it at the end, and then I go home and I deal with it, and then come back. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It just became like a ritual of what we did, and I think that's when I was like, I didn't have any guard, so I was like literally like opening up freely. There's like sometimes like without even like, I wouldn't even think of what I was saying. I was just saying them, and like sometimes I'd fuck up because obviously I'm not trying to tell her some dumb shit, but it's like when I felt most comfortable that and me who have, you know, obviously I put my fucking foot in my mouth a lot. It was one of those things where it's like with no guard, it's sometimes it can end up wrong or bad. Shit got real fast. And then, you know, sometimes she'd have to check me like, that's mean, or don't say that, or, you know what I mean? But because I'm literally just rambling, or sometimes like I'd ramble for 40 minutes and she's just listening.
About butt stuff?
Sometimes begging for butt stuff, you know what I mean? Like, can I please do it just a little bit, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And then she'd rebuttal, and then we'd go back and forth, and that's when I felt...
Who, her?
Or him, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I felt like that's when I was the most vulnerable, because I was able to take my guards down. And I don't know, and I felt like even in friendships, a lot of times, sometimes we go out and I do that shit, like when they're about to drop me off, that's when I'll be like, man, lately I've been fucking up, man. I'm like, I can't stand being home, or I'm scared because I haven't gotten a job yet, or you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I open up about stuff.
I got this sugar.
Or I was diagnosed with some diabetes, type A, or type 1 or type 2, or is it type A or type B?
I think type 2 is the worst one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, none of them are good, but
I think type 1 is insulin.
Oh, never mind.
Type 2 is the one where it's your diet that made you diabetic.
Yeah, and you have to change your whole lifestyle.
Wait, so type 2, you could just change your diet and you'll be straight?
Some people can cure their diabetes. Well, it's not really a cure.
I think the insulin shots.
You treat it
by eating healthier.
You eat healthier and you lose weight, and you can get it under control. I think you still have diabetes though
for life.
For life, but
it's your pancreas, dog.
You could treat it.
But that's what I meant about most vulnerable, because obviously you're gonna be vulnerable and open with people you know. Even if it's a stranger, you're not gonna be open unless you're like an open book, which some people are. And they could do that with complete strangers, but I just said, like, what part of the day or where do you ever feel like you're the most open with people? Sometimes here, like, honestly, like, I feel like Arthur, sometimes when the mic's on and the headphones are on, he feels like he can open, and that's just what I've noticed. I see him open up about shit.
Yeah, the times that I feel the most vulnerable is when I actually stop using my humor as a defense. Because my whole life I've been using that as my defense mechanism. I'm short, not the best looking guy. So I've always used the humor. My personality was my defense mechanism. I always felt like that would be able to get me through shit. But when I start opening up to people, like, without using that kind of shit, that's when I notice that I'm most vulnerable. When I actually stop using humor. When I'm not trying to be funny.
Shut up! I'm not trying to be funny, dog.
I thought you had Tourette. You trying to be funny, bro?
That's what I was wondering. Right? I was like, when the fuck is this fool trying to be funny?
When this fool turning it on, dog? I'm waiting for it.
I always turn it on, bro.
All right. How about you guys? You want to go back and change your answers, or
time of the day? I don't have a
time of the day. Time of the day.
I don't think I have a select time when
but is it easier through text? Because sometimes you could text and text.
I don't like texting.
Because shit could get out of context when you text.
I don't like texting.
Sometimes you send the wrong dick pic.
It happens, dog.
It's half lasted, full flasted.
Whose dick are you sending? It's not yours.
Or how many dicks do you have?
How many dicks do you have on your phone?
Multiple. You have to take multiple shots from multiple angles.
He's like, oh wait, I told this chick I was black. Let me go to the side.
That was racist, dog.
Yeah.
He's texting chicks.
He's turning it on right now, guys. So it takes a little time to warm up, but he'll get there.
He's like a really old car. You gotta let's wait an hour for a warm up, then we can leave, dog.
Yeah.
But I think I don't have a time of the day. And as far as like I said, when you have those late night conversations, like specifically with females, but I don't even think it's that late night because I've had late night conversations with friends and stuff, and I don't get as vulnerable. But when it comes to females, the times I feel the most vulnerable is when you're cuddling with them and you're lying in bed and you guys are talking, and because then that's when your defenses are down because it's just you and her, and that's when you just feel comfortable enough to talk and say things and really be yourself. And whether it's get serious or you could be silly or you could be stupid. With that,
you can make meow noises.
Yeah, I mean that's the time where you both of you could be meowing at each other because it makes you guys laugh. Because I've done that where she does a cat noise and then I find that cute and adorable and I start laughing and then I do one as well.
See, I'm a creep for doing it when I used to say it and now he does it too, dog.
No, I've done it before, but I don't do it like when I'm driving in the car because that's
just weird. Did you guys ever like try to fart to see if she would laugh and then the day
exactly.
went south extremely fast?
She threw up.
South.
Well, no, you shit yourself.
It came out with a little extra.
Yeah,
no, but yeah, that's like when you're in bed and like those things happen. That's when like basically you really find out how close you are to that person. Because I mean, if you like the person and they fart, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck's wrong with you?" You'll laugh because you'll be like, "Oh shit, like she could be real." Or you'll fart and you get nervous, like, "Oh, this bitch is gonna think I'm."
Have you ever caught a chick farting in front of you?
Oh, I find it hilarious, dog.
But you have catch?
Yeah, like, and those are the times when it happens because.
Dick, one time
neither one of you wants to get up and leave.
she did it, and then she tried to sneakily lowered the window down of the car. But I was like, Dick, I already knew, but I did. I wasn't gonna call her out. You didn't tease her about it? I didn't call her out on it because I
see when it happens. I like to tease him about it.
Fuck you, eat, girl.
I like to tease him about it because also when it's just you two. That's the time when you can tease each other and. Well, I mean, the other person doesn't really get butthurt because they're not going to get embarrassed because no one else is around.
Right.
And that's when you guys can tease each other.
In front of her friends, you just keep clowning her like nonstop.
What you have for
Look
dinner,
with your farting ass.
This bitch just farted.
Fucking trying out for the clumps.
Yeah, but to me, that's when you could be the most vulnerable, and that's when some of the most like.
Just when you're being fodongos for staying at home. Yeah, when no bullshit.
When you're being fucking lazy,
just chilling.
Chilling in PJs or whatever the fuck you go to sleep in, and you're just hanging out, and you gotta be yourself. You gotta not worry about shit. It's just you and her. Those are
that makes sense.
Those are some of the best times.
It's always yeah, I know what you mean. It's just
because they're just sweet moments. Like you could be doing stupid shit as meowing at each other, or one of you farts or.
Biting.
Someone sneezes and accidentally sneeze on you. I had
biting sessions of we just bite
I don't like
each
biting.
other back and forth.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
Until somebody cried.
I don't like that shit.
That shit was fun. But, yeah, fuck it. Vulnerability, dog. I think.
What about you, Arthur?
Like I said, that's...
No, but I'm like...
When he's throwing his dog the chew toy.
When it comes to women, I understand in general, you get vulnerable on here.
Yeah,
but
it's when you
I spoon fed him that answer.
But you actually just sit them down and you actually talk for reals to actually tell people you're scared.
Stop laughing about my dick. I'm just joking.
In most countries, this size is normal, big dog.
I'm a rock star in Japan.
So you're saying when you're on. I'm guessing a conversation over dinner or over anything?
Yeah, because I'm not the person I've never been open. I'm surprised that I've been open on this podcast as much as I have been. Mm-hmm. But I'm a very private person. I don't like telling people actual stuff about me. And there's few females that I actually told a lot, more than I've told you guys. And it's just those moments, you could tell that they're like, oh... they tell me stuff that
is that like, what a vagina looks like? That's scary.
I don't even tell them nothing. I just try.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't tell girls shit. You just drop the Magnum fucking condom and your water cash.
Nah, yeah, but when I start going into detail about stuff that's personal to me, that like I don't share with anybody, like my own family issues, my own that kind of stuff. Which
is funny because your family listens, and I'm like, I wonder how much they actually know about Arthur and how much he opens up to them. Not much,
because like I said, my little brother, when he started hearing this, he's like, you're a totally different person. I didn't know you were even.
Well, I mean, just
I looked up to you, dog. What happened?
You're a fucking loser.
It's probably just the age difference.
Yeah,
but also because the way Arthur is, though.
But even my cousins, I never really opened up to anybody. I'm not the person who's gonna bring up shit.
You're not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't like doing that kind of stuff. But for some reason, put the mic in front of me and close friends, and I'm able to open up. I think it's just being able.
It's being able around some people that like. I feel a lot of times it's like that because I'm so open with people that people feel comfortable being open with me.
Maybe.
Which is sometimes because I'm like even sometimes I feel like. Oh fuck! Somebody just told me some shit where I like, if it wasn't me, that I wouldn't have felt like that. They wouldn't have told me. Like I'm like, damn, or I don't know. Maybe I just feel surprised when people still share shit with me.
I think if you're a good listener, then that's when people talk.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a sharer, and I've had people tell me things, and I wouldn't tell them anything about myself. I think it's just if you actually lend a genuine ear, people will tell you things
and give good advice.
Yeah, and you give them some advice, and people will tell you some dark shit about themselves or some real shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm usually the guy that always listens. Yeah, but when I'm actually the one who's opening up, that's when I feel like I'm super vulnerable because I'm telling this person secrets that I don't even share with the closest people that I should be close to.
Yeah, I only share with myself.
Like what?
I put me on blast.
I have talk sessions with myself.
Yeah, like
in the mirror.
No, in my head.
Like meditation.
When I'm at bus stop. Wow, that's some freaky shit. For meditation, it's freaky.
That's just a term to explain what freaky, like self-analysis.
I'll talk to myself out loud, like at a bus stop or
at a bank. It goes kaboom.
Boom. No, I don't do that.
Or I'll just yell indignities at people and that'll make me feel better.
So what kind of things have you shared with people that you haven't shared on the podcast? They don't have to be crazy personal, but just give us one. Just give us a taste of.
Well, it's got to come naturally, dog. I can't just fucking put myself on blast.
I know one, fool. He told me once that he tasted the inner lining of his foreskin.
What?
Not to burn you or anything.
Fuck you, dog. Nah, the person that I've actually been the closest with, no homo, is Nestor. He's the one that I've told the most about.
More than those girls.
There's still stuff about me that I'm the only person who knows.
Well, I think we all have that though.
Yeah, but like,
I'm pretty sure there's things about Nestor that only he knows as well.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
What his bra size is?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Ba-boom.
Are you doing fat shit now, dog? That's what we're doing?
Nah, but yeah, like.
I was here trying to be vulnerable, dog. Niggas trying to take shots at my size.
Nah, like I said.
Nah, I'm just kidding. You don't want to say it, it's fine.